guys, and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to show you how to make this DIY cupcake tower and these adorable unicorn cupcakes. So I'll be taking you through step by step and showing you how I made them, and if this is something that you would like to see, then stick around. Okay, these are the supplies I'm going to use to make this cupcake tower. You're going to need 12-inch round cake circles, and this pack of 7 is at Walmart for $4. You're going to need clear contact paper, different colored tulle, 4 cans. These are just the cheapest ones at Walmart. They're 44 cents. You're going to need various scrapbook paper. I'm using gold glitter, pink, purple, green, and white. And then gold ribbon, pink ribbon, a glue gun, lots of glue sticks, and some scissors. And that is all the supplies we need to make this. Okay, so the first thing I did is I traced circles on 2 of these. I'm going to need 3 different size plates because it's going to be tiered from biggest up to smallest. This cupcake tower generally holds about 18 cupcakes. I traced that plate. I had a plate that was this size, and I had one that was a little bit bigger. And I traced that, and then this one is just going to stay this same size. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these out. Okay, now I have 3 tiers, 3 different sizes for the 3 tiers. So these are going to be covered because you don't have to cover them. Many times I don't, but these I want to be covered because it just makes it cuter. So I had this piece of scrapbook paper, so it's got some glue on it, but I figured it's actually not big enough for this one, so I'll figure that out. One layer is going to have purple, and one is going to have pink, and one is going to have hopefully green. I'm going to trace this onto here, then we're going to cut this out. And then because you're going to be setting cupcakes on this, it will be greasy, and you don't want the grease to show on the paper, especially if you want to reuse these. So we're going to put contact paper over the scrapbook paper, and then we're going to hot glue it to this to make the layer. So that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, so I made the bottom layer. I just traced the pink paper, and that's going to cover the bottom layer. The second layer I traced in this purple, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this purple out. And then the top layer I just decided I'm going to leave white since this green did not fit. Alright, now I'm just going to hot glue these on to these 2 pieces. Alright, so these are my 3 pieces now, my 3 tiers. So the next step is I'm going to take these cans and I'm going to cover them with white paper because these are going to be what holds the tower together. Okay, so this part's always kind of tricky. I like to do each individual piece first before I stick them all together. So I'm going to start with this one in the center, and then I'm going to glue center here. Make sure it's lined up, and then I'll glue the bottom ones on, because you need to make sure that they're in a line and it's hard to see through, you know. So let's start with this one. Now since I can't see where that one's going to be, it makes it kind of tricky. I'm going to flip this over, make a circle in the middle. So this way I know when I go to glue this piece on here, I can kind of look at that and see. So I'm going to stick this one on here just like I did that one. Okay, now I'm going to take a can and I'm going to do the same thing on the top. Draw a circle so that I know where to kind of line it up. So when I go to glue this on, I'll know. You just want to make sure that these are lined up this way, and then turn it and see. So you want to make sure they're lined up this way and this way. So I set it down and then I turn it as I'm looking at it. I'm going to add some more glue because I moved it around. But this is actually going to be this part won't be seen because we're going to flip this over. So now I'm going to just glue the base too on the bottom, which will be covered really with the skirt I'm making, the little tutu on the bottom. Okay, so the next step is to put some ribbon around the edge here just to cover up the edge. So I chose this pink ribbon. Okay, once that's done, I just like to go around and kind of smooth off any strings of glue that might be hanging down. This is kind of fragile. You don't want to be real rough with it. You want to always carry it from the bottom whenever you move it. But here's I'll show you like that, view of what it looks like so far. I'm going to work on the tutu and I'm going to work on the unicorn horns. Okay, so I'm just taking this gold glitter paper and I'm just going to twist it. Okay, now I'm going to make the tutu, and I just got a piece of ribbon that's a little bit bigger than the diameter of the bottom layer, and then I have pink, purple, and blue or teal tulle, and I just cut them in strips, and then I'm going to be just tying them, looping them through, tying them to this, and then this gets glued onto here, and then when I've got it on here, I'll then go back and trim it to see how long I want it to be. So it's just a lot of tying tool right now. Okay, I'm done with this, and now I'm just going to sort of go through and evenly space them apart. Okay, so it's all glued on, and now I'm just going to decide how short or long I want it. So I'm going to trim it up some because it's a little too full, I think. Alright, well, here's the finished cupcake tower with the tutu and the golden horn, which I did decide later to take off. So now I'm going to be making the unicorn horns and the ears. So I got this Wilton fondant. It comes in a block like this, and it's kind of hard, so you have to just tear off little pieces and knead them to make them pliable. So I just took a ball about the size of a nickel, and I rolled it out, and as I made these, as I got used to it, I kind of learned what was easiest, rolling it in my hands or rolling it on the foil. And you want to make sure that the ends are slightly thinner than the middle. The middle needs to be a little bit thick. So then you're going to roll it out, and you're going to take your two pieces and just twist them over, just like that, and then you're going to twist it all the way down. And then there's your unicorn horn. So I trimmed it at the top to make it the right length, and then I kind of just like shaped it a little bit, made it a little bit flat at the bottom so that it would sit on my cupcakes. But it was just that simple. There you go. And I have to make 40 of these horns, so got a lot to do. Alright, now I'm on my last unicorn horn, and I made 40 of those, and now it's time to make the ears, and I do have to make 80 ears. So I take a ball that's definitely smaller than the one I used before, and I just want to roll it into a little ball and then flatten it into a disc. And I have some cornstarch on my fingers to help it not stick. Then I just pinched the bottom together, and then I pinched the top as well, but it was a little bit smaller than I did on the bottom. And I just have to get busy making 80 of these ears. Right now I took some of this Wilton pearl dust in gold, and it's a very small container, does not take much, and I added a few drops of water and then sprinkled it on, and took a very small paintbrush, mixed it together, and I painted my little golden horns. It says, the pearl dust says to use vodka if you want a vibrant color, but I am not going to use vodka on these. They say that it evaporates, but yeah, I didn't have any vodka, so I just used water. And you can see that it turned them gold, and it was a little bit shimmery when it dried. It does make the fondant kind of sticky, so you need to give it adequate time to dry. Alright, now I took this pink Wilton gel coloring, and I added some water to it, made it pretty watery, and a Q-tip, because the little paintbrush didn't fit really inside the ears. It would have been too messy, so I thought a Q-tip might be easier. And I just dabbed a little bit of the pink inside the ears, and it was just that easy to paint the ears. Okay, I've let these horns dry overnight, and then I flipped them over this morning, and I painted the backs of the gold dust. And the ears are dry, so they're still shiny, so they look wet, but they're not. Alright, now it is time to ice the cupcakes. So I've made my homemade buttercream, and I decided on pink, yellow, and purple. And then I also have some light, very light blue left over from another project. So I'm going to just mix these colors together, and since I want them all to be pastels, I really do not need hardly any of the gel coloring. It actually, a little bit goes a very long way. So I just added these three colors together and gave them a nice stir, and then we were ready to start icing. Alright, I'm going to show you the technique I use to get the little swirl on the cupcake. The colors to be swirled together. I take a piece of saran wrap and then I just take each color of icing, just a little bit of each, and I want to just sort of like lay it down into a line on the plastic wrap, and it does not need to be anything neat or exact because it's going to all get smushed together anyways. And the blue and the yellow I put next to each other so they would maybe form a little bit of a green color. And then once you do that, you're just going to roll your icing together, and see, it does not stick to the saran wrap, but you're just going to make it into a nice like cylindrical shape so that it can fit nicely inside your piping bag. But this is just a super easy way to transport it right into the bag, no mess, and you just throw it away when you're done. So I take these Wilton piping bags, which are amazing. I love them. I used to use baggies, but then when I use these, there's no going back. These are awesome. So this tip I'm using is pretty large. So this is the kind that has to just slip right inside the bag. And so I just trimmed it so that it will fit. Put that in first. And then I'm gonna just take the whole icing wrapped in saran wrap and just stick it right inside after I cut the tip off. So you can see that it's kind of already getting mixed together. It's going to be so pretty when it's piped out. And it just slips right in. And now this is the fun part, when you get to actually create the unicorn cupcake. Look how pretty. And here's my first one. See if it worked. I just think it's so pretty, and you can use any colors that you want to like blend together. It actually looks difficult, but it's so not difficult when you see it done. And then I took a horn that had dried and stuck that on top. I'm sorry if you hear my son in the background. And the ears, and there you go, a unicorn cupcake. Isn't that so cute? And then I had 39 more to make. And there they are. Aren't they beautiful? 40 unicorn cupcakes. I don't know how many times I've said unicorn cupcakes in this video, but I think they are so adorable. They were probably my favorite cupcakes I've ever made. And there they are on the tower. This tower holds 18 to 20 cupcakes, and it was such a cute idea, and I know that they loved it, and I hope you enjoyed this video.